objective this evening, and I hope I share that with my colleagues here tonight, is let's unpack that. Let's get practical and tactical about what's next in AI. More specifically, what's happening in Pittsburgh with AI. I'm most excited this panel tonight, as Jonathan said, but for me, being at PwC, I lead our emerging technology group at PwC. I'm not an accountant, so if you don't know PwC, yes, 150-year-old company, tax, audit assurance. My background is emerging technology strategy. But relative to this conversation tonight, as we were talking to our colleagues this evening, we've got founders who came out of Carnegie Mellon, Kevin Miller, and his team, LegalSifter. We've got organizations, Jewish Healthcare Foundation this evening, I'll introduce everybody in a second, who've been around for quite some time using AI for patient safety. We think about organizations, maybe you heard of this company called eHealth Technologies. Sean Ways is here this evening, putting roots down in Pittsburgh and moving to Pittsburgh, pretty exciting. And obviously we've got adaptive AI, we're thinking about kind of coming out of industry and moving into the more entrepreneurial space. So I love this diversity of thinking this evening. And so I think practical and tactical. We're gonna talk about what's working, maybe perhaps what's not working, and hopefully get some practical advice for you and where you sit, whether you are just starting on your journey or you've been doing this for some time, but we have something for everybody tonight. Fair? So with that, I like to start these conversations a little bit differently, less of lobbing into questions, but maybe starting from a place of maybe say who you are, which organization you're with, but I want to start from a place of what's the last thing you used ChatGPT for? Or maybe Bard. I'll be agnostic, whatever you're using. But what's the last thing you used ChatGPT for in your personal life, if you're willing to share?
Oh my gosh, I just used it an hour ago.
Okay.
So, it's kind of funny you asked me that question because I'm actually taking an MIT course. It's an 8 weeks long course in building state-of-the-art apps in AI. Although that is my background, you can never stop learning, is my take, right? So I kind of signed up for this because they're walking us through this amazing things you can do with generative AI, which I think is a level playing field because almost everyone is coming into this. And my assignment was due at 5 o'clock today, and my grammar was so poor as I was typing my thoughts. And I said, I have to run this through something so this way I can be here, submit my assignment, and get my grammar right.
So you used it to tighten up the language in your own.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I just put it all together. I had all this, we were supposed to design a solution, and I put it all together, and I was like, it was proposing me some really nice words, and I was like, I'll take it, because I need to wrap this up, and
Awesome.
That's my latest and greatest experience, and I think it's great.
Yep.
We have a tool like that can help us, get better at what we do.
Perfect. And Pam Kamath of Adaptive AI. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Karen Feinstein, Jewish Healthcare Foundation. What's the last thing you used ChatGPT for?
Well, I was very interested in how mining, which is considered the most hazardous occupation in the world, how it became so safe. And what's fun is you can talk back, to ChatGPT. Could you be more specific? What inspectors? With what background? But anyway, it was to find out the history of safety in mining.
So you were looking at outside of industry, outside of healthcare, looking at the safety of mining and just helping kind of expand your own aperture to what's happening in your industry. Awesome. Okay. So we're using it for knowledge. We're using it to correct our grammar. Sean, what are you using GPT for these days? Outside of work.
Yeah. So mine is not nearly as interesting as either of these examples. I literally asked it what we should have for dinner, so I didn't have to argue with my wife and get the I don't know over and over again. So it was very helpful. It saved about 20 minutes, and we got dinner pretty quick.
That's up to you. Cap, what are you thinking?
I used it about 4 hours ago. We have a big team meeting coming up next week here in Pittsburgh, bringing a bunch of people in from around the world, and we had a big email going out that was coming from me, and I wanted to punch it up a little bit with a couple of thoughts, and I used Grammarly, and for those of you who use Grammarly, they've introduced over the last 3 or 4 or 5 months, I'm not sure when the magic little button appeared, and now you've got a prompt, and it'll generate things just like Copy AI or ChatGPT, but only it's right there in Word. So I used it to punch up a couple of paragraphs, actually give me a starting paragraph on a long email that had to go out, and so that's what I used it for.
Awesome.